Yin, Yin. My eyes fluttered open upon hearing my name being called out softly, only to see that I'm already in my house, lying on my bed, while the serpent Hashira is sitting on the edge, holding a towel, damp in water against my cheek, the part where I got hurt. My brows furrowed upon a dazing feeling that hurts me instantly. How are you feeling? You caught a slight fever on your way back. Reaching for my forehead, it does seem to be hotter than usual. Just a bit dizzy, I replied before turning my body into a more comfortable position, my eyelids only half open due to the tiredness. Sleep, I'm here for you, Obanai reassured as he starts to softly wipe my cheeks with a towel, indicating to reduce the high temperature. Obanai? Mm-hmm. He hummed quietly in response as he continues to wipe the towel down my arms, reducing the heat. Can you sing for me? I could clearly feel his hand suddenly stop due to the taken back by the surprise. His heterochromia eyes moved away from my arm as he looked into mine. Me? Sing? Please? I nodded, reaching out for his hand, shaking a bit. Little did I know this tiny gesture melted away the heart of the serpent Hashira. Fine, but don't expect too much from me, he muttered out before thinking of a song to sing. Me, on the other hand, snuggled closer to where he sits as I kept a hand onto his wrist, wanting some sort of physical contact with him. Closing my eyes, I waited for his voice to sound. I'm not singing, so sorry, guys. The slight, husky, but comforting voice of the serpent pillar soothed the breathing of the girl. She curled over to the boy as she quickly wandered into dreamland. However, Obanai was smiling, his lips curled up to form a small angle upon the cuteness of the frost pillar, his right arm still under her grip, as if she's scared that he will leave her, but he's willing to do anything to let her know that he won't ever leave her. Not again. His left hand reached for her, slowly brushing against her fingers, trying to assure her. Eventually, under his reassurance, subconsciously the girl's grip on his arm loosened, allowing him to keep wiping her neck, trying to help with the fever. He is glad that he managed to get close to Yen again. He swore to protect her and treat her with extra care, for he blames himself for everything that happened during their shared mission, and, of course, everything that happened with her afterwards. The nightly breeze suddenly brushed against the river. Wisteria slowly fall onto the surface of the water, flowing alongside. The clear liquid reflection, the round moon high up in the sky, surrounded by trillions of stars. Moonlight slowly showed the figures inside the room. The boy, after making sure her temperature was gone down, rested his head against a soft mattress, falling asleep. Hours later, the moon and sun switched positions. The morning sunlight warmed embrace the two figures, still fast asleep. The frost Hashira is more sensible to light sources than any other, therefore her eyes were the first ones to flutter open. Setting up quickly, the headache that had last night been upon her was now gone. Stretching a little, she turns to see the serpent Hashira, still sleeping peacefully. He was here the whole night? Unknowingly, I smiled a little before cheerfully getting out of bed. Before leaving to get changed, I left a blanket on top of him to keep him warm. I went to the other room to change into my uniform. Although it was Sunday, in case of any emergency missions, we're always seen out uniforms. I tied my hair into a ponytail, I didn't bother putting on my mask just yet, since I already comfortable with Obanai as I trust him. Just before I headed back to my room, I went into the yard and visited my Mayumi. God, my crow appeared soon later, landing on my shoulder. Morning, Mayumi. I lightly petted her feathers, greeting her. Hi, Lin-sama. I would like to go to the water estate. Ask you if I could meet him at the Hashira courtyard at noon. Of course, Lin-sama. I will deliver your message right away. Thank you, Mayumi. The crow of mine departed as she headed to the direction of the water estate. Once she was out of sight, I turned around and went back to my room where Obanai was. He was still asleep. He must have stayed up very late last night taking care of me. I tried my best to silence my moves as I sat down next to him, my back leaning against the side of my bed, where his head was resting upon, staring into his peaceful sleeping figure, and that's when I realized Kamaruma turned himself into a circular motion, resting on the table placed under the... Oh, resting on the... What? I don't know. It says resting on the table placed near the table. You guys can interpret if you like. My eyes traveled back down onto the boy before me. His hair fell into his face as he breathed slowly in patterns. I moved closer to his face, my hand reaching to his cheek, gently moved some of the hair out of his face as I continued to admire his features, although his bandage covered half his face. For a moment, I let my heart take control of my body as I quickly pecked the boy on the forehead. When my brain finally followed my actions, instantly pulled a distance between the two of us, my eyes carefully observing him, scared that I had woke him up. Since it's still early, I decided it's best to leave him alone for now. As I went to the table where Kamaruma is sleeping, quietly sat down and started to write down the memory glitches I had yesterday. Although I'm pretty sure I won't forget them, but I want to find out something to distract myself with from what I just did seconds ago. I can also use this chance to clear my mind, but I didn't see the redness cheeks of the serpent pillar the second I turned around. He was surely awake the whole time, and he was glad that he was good at acting asleep, at least good enough for you to believe it. He was glad that he chose to be attend to sleep, or else he wouldn't have gotten the surprise from you, making his heart beat speed up like crazy. Honestly, he was also surprised that she didn't hear how loud his heartbeat was. It made him fall in love for her even more, therefore making him regret more about all the mean and harsh words he said to her the night before they went on that mission. Just if he knew. Trying his hardest to maintain his composure, he decides that he cannot pretend anymore. His body is too sore for that. Therefore, he slowly lifted himself from the mattress, instantly catching your attention as you looked up from the paper. You're awake, I said as I turned around, rubbing his eyes. Yeah, how are you feeling? He asked as he slowly walked to the table and to wake Kamaruma up, which didn't take long. The snake made its way to his master, circling around Obanai's neck as his head rested against his shoulder. Much better than last night, thank you. I smiled as I put the pen down. You're not wearing your mask? Nah, I feel comfortable around you. I smiled a little. I stood up from my sitting position. He only nodded at my explanation, his aura giving off a sense of happiness. All right, I'm heading back to the serpent estate. I need to get changed. See you at lunch later then. We walked into the yard together, side by side, as he turned to face me once we were in the open air. Sure, I'll see you later. Thanks again, Obanai. I really appreciate it. I thanked him again, wholeheartedly thankful of him for staying the night last night and taking care of me. Obanai simply nodded. His hand reached to my hair and patted it a little before heading back to his estate. Just as I am about to go back to my room, Mayumi appeared out of nowhere and landed on my shoulder. Lin-sama, Tokyo-sama said that he can meet you slightly earlier if you want, so he will be waiting at the Hashira headquarters in an hour or so. Thank you, Mayumi. The crow jumped around on my shoulder for a bit before flying off to do her own business. But moments later, another crow appeared in my sight. I do not recognize who it belongs to. The crow landed on the nearest tree branch to where I was standing. As it started speaking, Lin-sama, I am sent from Kocho-sama to invite you to a checkup. As she heard of what happened yesterday from Iguro-sama, please head to the butterfly estate. Kocho? Ah, the insect Hashira. Thank you. I'll head over now. Before I left, I went to my room and found my mask, thinking it would be nice to bring some sort of present visiting someone, especially when they are helping you. I reached for something I could gift. In the kitchen, I managed to find some mochi that I bought at the market yesterday. Strange enough, I don't know why I brought them. When I saw them, there was just an instinct telling me to buy them for someone, although I didn't seem to remember who. Chances are that belongs to my missing memory, so I must have been friends with someone who liked mochi. I haven't opened the packaging, so I just left it and, left to go to the butterfly estate with it in hand. Stopping in front of the entrance of the butterfly estate, I heard quiet and a few shouting and exercises going on from inside. Pushing through the wooden doors, 3 boys came to my view, training at the butterfly estate training grounds with others. The first boy I saw was a young boy with scarred-looking eyes fade into gold, with short yellow hair of varying lengths. He is currently fighting with a punching bag hanging from a tree. Another boy, I suppose? He was extremely toned, however. He was wearing a boar head mask, which covered his face entirely. He is running on the roof with weights on his shoulders. Lastly, a boy with ruffled black hair with burgundy tips combed back, showing a scar on the top of his forehead. Wait, Tanjiro! I remember Tanjiro. I'm pretty sure he had a sister called Nezuko. A demon, wasn't she? I also remembered there was a time when I visited Odaraki-sensei, and I actually trained him myself. I watched closely and realized that they are not doing their exercises properly. Shaking my head a little before I decided to approach them, they noticed me when I was a few meters away as all 3 of them stopped what they were doing and looked at me with shock. Lin-san? The boy with earrings called out. Hello, Tanjiro. I watched as the boy in front of me looked back with me in wide eyes. You remember me? I do remember you. But Tokyo-san said that you have selective amnesia. I do, but it's selective. So I guess I didn't forget you. A wide smile appeared on his face at the same time I noticed his 2 friends reaching us. Zenitsu, Inosuke, meet Lin-san. She is really strong, and she is the Frost Hashira. Looking at the 2 other figures, I waved a bit. Hello, you guys. I said, showing them a little smile, trying to not appear frightening. Fight me! I dare you! The boy called Inosuke started to shout at me out of nowhere, and I retreated a few steps so I won't be defeated. Calm down a little. I respect you desperation of becoming stronger, but calm down. I paused, making sure he calmed down before continuing. I was just here to say that your training is not exactly right. Then I started to explain them how to do the exercises that's more effective to train and actually helpful to them. After a few demonstrations and pointers, I'm sure their training became much more effective and useful. Yin! A loud squeal appeared from behind. As soon as I turned around, I felt someone sprinting to me so fast that it caused me to stumble a little, my back hitting against the train trunk. I think it's supposed to be tree trunk behind me. My hand slightly scratched. I didn't mind that. I was occupied by the sweet scent of honey and the girl that hugging me right now. Hello, Mitsuri-chan. Smiling as I realized who it is, I wrapped my arms around her waist, hugging back. Come on, Shinobu-chan told to come and get you because you weren't here. Let's go. She pulled me with her, heading indoors. Just before I leave, I waved goodbye to the 3 boys. Train well, I shouted, reminding them. The boys nodded vigorously upon my words as I let out a little chuckle as I was pulled into Shinobu's room. It is at this point where I decided that I want my memory back, simply because of these people around me. Although I've forgotten them, there wasn't a second when they were not caring for me. They, in fact, took care of me and respected my boundaries, knowing I'm not 100% comfortable with them yet. I want to remember them now. Hey guys, I want to apologize for all the slip-ups today. I guess I can't read today, and yeah, but I hope you guys are staying warm. I am currently in a winter freeze. Can't go anywhere. Wish me luck. Anyways, I love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.